between loany and non-loany farmers should be ended, and everybody should get similar crop insurance coverage. And different types of exclusion within loany and non-loany farmers should be reduced. That's number 2. Number 3 is a very important problem, which is that rain gauges should be established in every village. Now, one rain gauge in one block is simply not acceptable because it leads to enormous exclusion of farmers who are facing localized risks. Now, government may say there is a different system available. You can report within 72 hours if you have a localized risk and so on. But that system is simply not working properly. So every village should have a rain gauge, and the unit of measurement should be a village and not a block. This should be a very important third demand that we must necessarily make. The fourth problem is that the scheme's design is faulty, and because of this, large number of states are exiting the scheme. Large number of states are simply leaving. I will tell you the list. Andhra Pradesh, of course, I have said, left the scheme in 2019 and instead introduced its own YSR free crop insurance scheme. It has rejoined, but still left for 2-3 years. Bihar left in 2018. It has its own Bihar Rajya Fasal Sahayata Yojana, different scheme of its own. And Gujarat of the Prime Minister's own Gujarat is not part of Prime Minister's Fasal Bima Yojana. It has exited the scheme. When did it exit? 2020. And it said it has started its own Mukhyamantri Sahaya Yojana of its own. Right? Similarly, Jharkhand exited and has its own Jharkhand Fasal Rahat Yojana. Telangana has exited, but it has no new scheme, unfortunately. There is complete confusion. West Bengal has its own Bangla Sashya Bima Yojana. Later need not recall these things, but you can say the name of the states. All these states have exited. Why is it? The two important problems are there. One is the state share is rising. The states are unable to pay their premiums on time, and the central government is actually penalizing states which end up delaying state share, saying that from the next year onwards you cannot participate in this scheme. And when that answer is there, the state governments are saying we may as well now do our own scheme. Second, the state governments have another problem. The sum insured, if it is 100 rupees, the premium sometimes is 5 rupees, 10 rupees, etc. 5%, 10%. But in some crops which are very risky, where the chances of natural calamities are high, insurance premiums are up to 25%. Insurance companies don't agree for 25%. The central government is saying that if the premium is more than 25%, then the full premium should be paid by the state government. Not 50-50, but 100% should be paid by the state government. Then state governments are saying, if we are paying 100%, why should we call it Prime Minister's Yojana? They will call it something else. We will have our own scheme. They are exiting. Right? So these problems, a lot of states are exiting the scheme. That is another serious problem. The final problem is this sector has been completely left to private corporate insurance companies, which simply do not pay farmers their claims, which try to reduce claims as much as possible, and they collect very large amounts as premium but pay only 20 or 30% of it as claims to farmers. That too with enormous difficulty. So we need to bring back the public sector into crop insurance. That is another important demand that we must make. So let me summarize it. Number one, all kinds of risks should be covered. Crop insurance should be comprehensive. Number two, loany and non-loany farmers should be properly and fully covered. Number three, the unit of insurance should be the village and not the block. And number four, all states must be included in this, and there should be flexibility offered to states in designing the schemes so that they feel included in the scheme. And this whole taking credit for the scheme after paying 50 rupees out of 100 rupees by putting the Prime Minister's photograph, etc., should be stopped. That kind of, it's like children taking credit for small things. It's very silly on the part of the central government to do so, but they are doing that, unfortunately. And finally public insurance must be brought back. These are the demands that we should make. Let me complete by one sentence and then the translator can finish it. That is that the present system is completely incapable, insufficient and inefficient in meeting the challenges that will be posed by climate change. Right? That is the conclusion. The present system, whatever name you call it, Fasal Bima Yojana, we simply do not have the efficiency, capability and sort of comprehensiveness in any form to cover all the farmers for all the risks so that we can have a proper adaptation strategy in agriculture based on crop insurance. And our demand should be to reinstate a comprehensive, inclusive and publicly oriented, farmer-oriented crop insurance scheme in this country, completely keeping out private profiteering interests and keeping the public sector and the farmer at the core of the program. And I'm sorry because the translation was also there, it got extended. I've taken more than 1.5 hours. I apologize, and very important people sitting on the stage, former minister and so on are here. They have been sitting very patiently listening to me. I apologize to them for the time that I took. I also thank them for their patience in sitting and listening. They are very senior leaders of the political system and the farmers movement, etc. Very thankful to you for listening to me. I look forward to your comments and I hope this intervention was useful to you in some form. Thank you very much.
మొత్తం ఈ ప్రసంగాన్ని ఒక 5 డిమాండ్